There is a common kitchen herb, the one sitting in your spice rack right now, the one you throw on potatoes, that rubbed into your face the right way for about 60 seconds before bed does more for a deep wrinkle in 8 weeks than a $90 cream does in a year. And I know how that sounds, believe me, I do. But here's the part almost nobody gets right, and it's the reason it works for some people and does absolutely nothing for others. It is not really about the rosemary. I mean, the rosemary matters, it matters a lot, we'll get there. But the thing that decides whether those lines around your eyes and your mouth soften or just stay exactly where they are is the way your fingers move across your skin, and the hour of the day you do it. Look at the back of your hand for a second. Just the hand holding your phone. See how the skin there is a little looser than it was, a little more lined. Now, without going anywhere, without getting up, just rest 2 fingers very lightly at the corner of your eye and let them sit there. Don't press, don't pull, just feel it. Feel how thin the skin is there. Feel where it wants to fold. That spot, that exact spot, is where this either works or doesn't, depending on one thing you're probably doing wrong right now. Because your face is doing the same thing the back of your hand is doing, the same way. And if you're anything like most of the people who sit across from me, you've been fighting it in the morning. In front of a mirror, in a hurry, dragging a cream downward across your cheeks with 2 fingers. And I want to tell you, gently, that morning routine is part of the problem. Not the whole problem, but part of it. Because a wrinkle, a real set-in wrinkle, is not just missing collagen. That's what the ads want you to believe, that you just need to replace something and pay them for it. It's more that the skin has lost its ability to bounce back, its spring, and every time you drag it in the wrong direction, you're teaching it to fold along that same line. You are, without meaning to, ironing the crease in. And you fix that, you actually reverse a little of it at 1 hour of the day, at night, while you sleep. I'll show you exactly why. So the herb, let me just say it, it's rosemary. Plain rosemary. The dried kind in the jar costs you what, $2? Maybe $2.50? And here is the thing that made me start recommending it to my own patients, the ones who'd tried everything. Rosemary contains a compound called carnosic acid, and carnosic acid is one of the most powerful antioxidants we found in a common plant. In the studies I've read, it protects the collagen you already have from breaking down. Not builds new youth overnight. I'm not going to lie to you like that. It protects what you've got, and it lets the skin repair the way it's supposed to. And 9 out of 10 people who try rosemary for their skin, and this is the loop I want you to hang on to, because I'm going to pay it off at the very end. 9 out of 10 ruin it with one small mistake in how they apply it. They do the one thing that cancels the whole benefit. Most of them never even find out. They just decide it didn't work for me and go back to the $90 jar. I'll tell you exactly what that mistake is, and it's probably the opposite of what you'd guess. Now, before we go further, everything I'm about to describe, the amounts, the exact ratio of rosemary to oil, how many drops, how many nights, the whole card, I've put it in one simple guide, and the link is right at the top of the description below this video. I'll remind you once more later, but if you're the type who likes to have it in front of you while you follow along, it's down there. Go grab it, it's free to read. Here's what I can promise you, if you do this the right way. And I want to be honest about the timeline, because that honesty is the whole reason you're still watching. In the first 2 weeks, the skin feels different, softer, a little plumper in the morning, less of that tight, papery feeling. Somewhere around week 4 to 6, the fine lines, the little ones at the corners of your eyes, the ones across the forehead, those start to soften and blur. And the deeper folds, the ones around the mouth, the nasolabial ones, those take longer, think 2 to 3 months. And they don't vanish, they ease, they relax. People stop asking if you're tired. That's the honest version. If someone promised you the deep ones gone in a week, they were selling. I should introduce myself, since I'm asking you to trust me with your face. My name is Dr. Federer. I'm a physician. And for years now, most of what I do is help people use the actual chemistry of natural plants on mature skin, properly, safely, no magic, no, the doctors don't want you to know. I do this because I got tired of watching good people spend a mortgage payment on jars of hope. So, let's do it properly. Let me tell you about one woman, I won't use her name, who came in convinced her skin was, in her words, just done. 64. She'd spent, she told me, more than $400 in 1 year on creams. and she brought them in a bag to show me, this whole heavy bag of half-used jars, almost angry about it. And the thing is, her skin wasn't done at all. It was dry, it was tired, and I watched her do it right there in the office. When I handed her a sample and asked her to put it on, she swept it down her cheeks, hard, both hands, the way you'd wipe a counter, downward, every single stroke, down. And I thought, there it is, there's the $400, not the creams, the direction. I had her change 2 things, the hour and the motion, that's all. And she came back 8 weeks later, and she didn't say my wrinkles are gone, because they weren't, not the deep ones. She said, my daughter asked what I was doing different. That's the sentence I'm chasing for you. Not gone, just someone noticing. So let me walk you through why rosemary specifically, and not just any herb, because the why is what makes you actually do it every night instead of quitting on day 9. There are 3 compounds in that leaf, and they each have one job. Say the first one with me, because I want it to stick. Carnosic acid. Carnosic acid. That's your antioxidant. That's the bodyguard standing in front of your collagen, taking the heat from the sun and the pollution and the stress so the collagen doesn't fray. The second one is rosmarinic acid. That one calms the low, quiet inflammation that sits under aging skin and keeps it a little red, a little puffy, a little irritated without you noticing. Calm that down and the skin looks, I want to say, rested. It looks rested. And the third is ursolic acid. And ursolic acid works on the barrier, the outermost layer, the part that holds your water in. When that barrier is strong, the skin is firm and it's plump, because it's holding on to moisture instead of leaking it into the dry air all night. 3 compounds, 3 jobs, 1 leaf, $2. And I want to give you one picture that'll make you remember why the antioxidant part matters, because it's the part people wave off. Think about cutting an apple and leaving half of it on the counter. In 20 minutes it goes brown, right? That browning, that's oxidation, that's oxygen damaging the flesh. Now squeeze a little lemon on the other half and it stays pale much longer. That's an antioxidant, holding the damage off. Your collagen, the scaffolding under your skin, the thing that keeps it firm, it's browning too, slowly, over years, from sun and stress and just being alive and breathing oxygen. Carnosic acid is the lemon on the apple. It doesn't build you new scaffolding, it stops the scaffolding you have from rusting out so fast. And when you stop the daily damage, the skin finally gets a chance to catch up on repair instead of always falling behind. That's not a small thing, that's most of the game. Now, the hour. This is the part that's almost the signature of everything I teach, so stay with me. Why at night? Why not just slap it on in the morning and get on with your day? Because your skin runs on a clock. During the day, your skin is a soldier. It's on defense. It's blocking sun. It's fighting off everything the day throws at it. It is not repairing. It doesn't have the resources to repair while it's under attack. But at night, roughly, and this varies person to person, but roughly between 11 at night and 4 in the morning, the skin flips over into its repair shift. Cell turnover speeds up. Blood flow to the skin increases. It's rebuilding. And here's the catch. The cruel little catch. At night, your skin also loses water fastest. There's a real term for it. Transepidermal water loss. Your skin quietly evaporating into your dark bedroom while you sleep. So you've got this window where the skin is desperate to repair and desperately drying out at the same time. That is the exact window where a little rosemary oil, pressed in and sealed, does its best work. You're feeding the repair and stopping the leak. In the morning, it's just fighting. At night, it's building. You feed it when it's building. And the fact that your skin repairs at night, is the whole reason the beauty industry made a fortune. I have a small problem with. Walk down the aisle. There's a day cream. There's a night cream. Different jar, different name, $40 each. And I'll be careful here, because I only mean this commercially, not medically. A lot of the time, the actual difference between the two is the label and the perfume. They sell you the day one to protect and the night one to repair, and they've trained you to spend twice. You don't need their 2 jars. You need 1 plant and the right hour. That's not a conspiracy. Nobody's hiding it. It's just good marketing that quietly costs you a lot of money over the years. Okay, the routine. 3 layers, and I'm going to give you the reason for each one, because if you know why you're doing it, you won't skip it. Layer 1. Your skin has to be slightly damp, not soaking, damp. Splash a little warm water or press a warm wet cloth to your face for a few seconds and leave it just barely moist. Why? Because oil seals in whatever's underneath it. If your skin is bone dry when you apply, you seal in dryness. Damp first, you seal in water. That's the whole trick to that plump in the morning thing everyone wants. Layer 2, the rosemary oil itself. Now, you do not put concentrated rosemary essential oil straight on your face. Write that down. Or better, it's on the card in the description. Never neat essential oil on the skin. It will burn you and it's not safe. What you want is rosemary gently steeped in a mild carrier oil. A handful of dried rosemary, warmed slowly in something gentle. I like a light oil that won't clog you, and then strained. A few drops. That's it. A few drops warmed between your fingertips. And I'm being deliberately loose with the amounts here, on purpose, because the exact ratio, how much rosemary to how much oil, how long to warm it, how long it keeps, actually matters, and I don't want you guessing. That precise recipe is the first thing on the guide in the description. Follow it once, and after that, you'll do it from memory. And let me answer the question you might be having, which is, why the face, why the hands, why do these age first before the rest of you? 2 reasons, and they're simple. The skin on your face and the backs of your hands is the thinnest skin you have, and it's the skin that never gets to hide. It's out in the sun and the wind and the cold every single day of your life, while your shoulder skin sits protected under a shirt looking 20 years younger. Thin plus exposed. That's the whole reason those are the first places to show it, and it's exactly why they respond so well when you finally start feeding them at the right hour. They've just been starving in plain sight. And here is layer 3, and this is the thing. This is the this way from the title. This is where 9 out of 10 people quietly throw the whole thing away. You do not rub it in. You do not drag your fingers down your face the way you've been doing your whole life. The way the cream commercials show a woman sweeping her hand down her cheek. Because your skin, mature skin, thinner skin, when you drag it downward, you are pulling it in the exact direction gravity is already pulling it. You're stretching thin, delicate tissue sideways and down. And over 1,000 nights you are, and I mean this literally, folding the crease in deeper. You're pressing the fold. Here's what you do instead. You press. You take the oil on the pads of 3 fingers and you press it into the skin. A gentle, firm press and lift. Press and lift. And where there's a line, you press up and out, along the line, toward your hairline, toward your ears, moving up against the fall. Never down, never dragging. Little presses. And along a deep line, the ones by the mouth, you roll the fingertip up and out, softly, like you're smoothing a bedsheet away from a wrinkle instead of scrubbing it. 60 seconds. That's all it takes. 2 things happen when you do it that way. First, that pressing, that light firm pressure brings blood up to the surface, and blood is oxygen and nutrients arriving exactly where the repair is about to happen. You can feel it. The skin gets a little warm, a little pink. That's good. That's circulation. Think of a plant that's been sitting in a dry corner, drooping, and you water it, and by morning it's standing up again. It didn't grow new leaves. It just got what it needed, and it filled back out. Skin does a version of that overnight, when you give it the water and the feed and then get out of its way. Second, and this is the part almost nobody's ever told you, you're working with the skin structure instead of against it, lifting, never stretching down. So the oil feeds it, the pressure wakes up the circulation, the upward motion stops teaching the fold, and then you sleep, and the repair shift takes over for 5 hours with everything it needs already there. That's the Rosemary Press. That's the whole thing. 60 seconds a night, $2 a jar. The most expensive part of this is that you have to be patient. Oh, and one more reason to do this now, tonight, and not someday when I remember. The skin repairs a little less efficiently every year, which means the sooner you start protecting what you've got, the more you've got to protect. The best night to have started was years ago. The second best is tonight. I'm not saying that to rush you into anything. There's nothing to buy. I'm saying it because I've watched too many people wait for the right time to be kind to themselves. And the right time was always just, now. Now let me be the honest doctor for a minute, because you should be suspicious of anyone who isn't. Here is what rosemary will not do. It will not erase a deep wrinkle, it softens it, it does not delete it. It is not a filler, it is not Botox, and if your line is a deep folded one, this eases it, it doesn't magic it away. It will not work in 3 days. If you quit before 4 weeks, you will feel cheated, and it'll be because you quit, not because it failed. It is not for everyone's skin. Rosemary can irritate sensitive skin, so you test it first, a little on the inside of your wrist or behind your ear. Wait a full day, and if it goes red or itchy, this one is not for you, and that's okay. And it does nothing for sun damage you keep adding to. If you do this every night and then bake in the sun with no protection every day, you're bailing water out of a boat with the hole still open. I'm not here to sell you a miracle. I'm here to show you a good, cheap, real tool, honestly. And now, let me pay off what I promised at the top, the mistake 9 out of 10 people make. And I'll bet it's not what you guessed, because it's the opposite of a thing you've been trained to do your entire life. The mistake is not the rosemary, it's not the amount, it's not the brand, it's not even the direction. You'll get the direction right after tonight. The mistake is this: they rub it all the way in until the skin feels dry again, until it's absorbed. Because 40 years of lotion taught them that you're not finished until the skin feels matte and clean and there's nothing left on top. So they press the oil in, and then out of pure habit, they keep going, keep working it, until every last bit has soaked in and the surface feels bare again, and they go to bed feeling like they did it properly. And they just remove the seal. That thin film of oil sitting on top of the skin, the little bit that feels not done. That film is the whole point. That's the lid on the jar. That's what stops your skin from evaporating into the dark bedroom all night. Rub it all the way in, and you fed the skin for about 10 minutes and then left the window wide open for the other 7 hours. So the repair shift shows up at midnight to do its work, and there's nothing there. It's dried out. That's why it doesn't work for so many people. Not because rosemary is weak, because they wiped off the seal 5 seconds before bed, every night, thinking that was the responsible thing to do. So, press it up and out, yes, and then stop. Leave the sheen. Go to sleep a little shiny. That shine is doing the work. So let me put it all together, simply. 5 steps, so you can start tonight. 1. At night, not the morning. Night is when the skin repairs. 2. Damp skin first, not dry. A little warm water so you seal in moisture, not dryness. 3. Rosemary steeped in a mild oil. Never the concentrated essential oil straight on your face. Just a few drops warmed in your fingers. 4. Press, do not drag, little firm presses, up and out along every line toward the hairline, 60 seconds, until the skin feels warm, and then stop, and leave the sheen on top. That film is the seal, do not rub it off. 5. Then sleep, and let the night do the building. The exact amounts, how much rosemary, how many drops, which carrier oil, the full patch test steps, that whole card is in the guide linked at the top of the description. And I really do want you to read it before your first night, because doing it right matters more than doing it fast. I genuinely love to know, down in the comments, how old are the hands you're looking at right now? And have you ever been dragging your cream downward this whole time? Just tell me up or down, I read them, and honestly, I think a lot of you are about to have a small realization. And if this was useful, in the next video, I'm going to show you the one food you're probably eating at breakfast that speeds up wrinkles faster than the sun does. And it's considered healthy, which is exactly why nobody warns you. That one surprised even me. So subscribe, so it actually reaches you when it's up. Because these are the kinds of things nobody's going to hand you at the pharmacy. Go look at the back of your hand one more time. That skin isn't your enemy, and it isn't broken. It's just been getting fed at the wrong hour and touched in the wrong direction. Change those 2 things. Tonight, 60 seconds, press up, not down, and give it 8 weeks. You might be surprised who's looking back at you in the mirror. And they won't be able to guess your age. That's the whole idea.